Good morning, first graders. Today we are going to be reading our story of the week, Whistle for Willie. This story is realistic fiction, and as you know, that means that it probably could happen, but did it actually happen? It did not. So, looking at this picture, I see a little boy and a dog, and I wonder, just by looking at the picture, what this story could be about. Our essential question right here says, how can you take care of a pet? Take good care of a pet. So I think that's what we're going to be thinking about. So just by looking at the picture, I think it might be about this little dog and maybe about this little boy. And based off this title, I wonder what that could be about. Oh, how Peter wished he could whistle. He saw a boy playing with his dog. Whenever the boy whistled, the dog ran straight to him. Peter tried and tried to whistle, but he couldn't. So instead, he began to turn himself around and around and around. He whirled faster and faster. When he stopped, everything turned down and up and down and around and around. And looking at this picture, I wonder why the illustrator drew the picture exactly like they did. It kind of looks slanted, and I think that was probably on purpose. And so based off this page, we know that Willie is the main, or Peter is the main character, and we haven't met Willie. So Peter is our main character right here. Peter saw his dog Willie coming. Quick as a wink, he hid in an empty carton lying on the sidewalk. Wouldn't it be funny if I whistled, Peter thought. Willie wouldn't stop and look all around to see who it was. Peter tried again to whistle, but he couldn't. So Willie just walked on. So what's our problem in this story? It's obviously that Peter cannot whistle, and I think he's a little bit disappointed about that. We also heard something called quick as a wink, and that's called figurative language. So what do you think that means, quick as a wink? Peter got out of the carton and started home. On the way, he took some colored chalks out of his pocket and drew a long, long line right up to his door. He stood there and tried to whistle again. He blew until his cheeks were tired, but nothing happened. He went into his house and put on his father's old hat to make himself feel more grown up. He looked into the mirror to practice whistling. Still no whistle. When his mother saw what he was doing, Peter pretended that he was his father. He said, "I'm home early today, dear. Is Peter here?" His mother answered, "Why, no, he's outside with Willie." "Well, I'll go outside and look for them," said Peter. First, he walked along a crack in the sidewalk and he tried to run away from his shadow. He jumped on his shadow, but when he landed, they were together again. When he came to the corner where the carton was, and who should he see but Willie? Peter scrambled under the carton. He blew and he blew. Suddenly, out came a real whistle. Willie stopped and looked around to see who it was. So the problem was solved. "It's me," Peter shouted and stood up. Willie raced straight towards him. How do you think Peter felt? Peter ran home to show his father and mother what he could do. They loved Peter's whistling, and so did Willie. Peter's mother asked him and Willie to go on an errand to the grocery store. He whistled all the way there, and he whistled all the way home. That's the end of our story today. So there was a problem, and the problem was that Peter could not whistle. But by the end of the story, the problem was solved. So I would like for you to think today about the cause and effect. In Whistle for Willie, the story events cause other things to happen. So the cause is the reason why something else happens. And the effect is what happens based off that and because that happened. So this is the cause. And what happens is because he tries to whistle. What happens because he tries to whistle? And then you can look right here. There's a chart right here that says cause and event, effect and event. So because he did this, this is what happened. So I'd like you to think about Whistle for Willie. And as you read it for the second time today, I want you to think about the cause and effect. Okay, my time is running out today, and I hope you're having a great morning. I'll talk to you soon.